Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's Tech Tip Tuesday. Today, Howard Young, our senior sales architect here at Zadara Storage, is going to be talking about some EC2 instances via Windows. So, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to today's broadcast. Howard, please take it away.
Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about multipathing, and basically it gives you a boost in performance with the iSCSI protocol. So what we're going to talk about is the Windows RC2 2012 server.
And if anyone has questions while we're going through, please shoot us a question in the question panel and we'll be sure to answer. Or feel free to raise your hand at the end and we'll take you off mute.
So if you recall if you've been onboarded, the AWS EC2 instances, or the virtual private cloud, is connected with two direct connects. And the direct connects are two 10 gigabit links that are provided by Zadara to the VPSA. So that gives you two different pathways to access the data. And there are separate VLANs. So for example, you may be on VLAN 10 or VLAN 210, depending on your specific VLAN that's been assigned to you. But what that does, it gives you a primary and a secondary path, and then if there's any routing to across the other direct connect, you'll get a performance boost. So if you go to your VPSA, and basically you have to look at it as the availability is only at the block level. So for multipathing, you won't be able to do it on a share, but you can do it on a block. And at the block level, you would attach a server to your particular volume, and then you can access that directly through the iSCSI protocol. Now, I won't go through the install of the iSCSI protocol, but from Windows, the 2012, you can just click on the window button down on the bottom and then just search for iSCSI initiator. And that'll bring up the iSCSI initiator. If it's not there, it'll install it for you, and then we provide a script to connect directly to a server. So for example, if you want to add a server, you do it automatically install, and then you specify the iSCSI, and then you can just download the script. So for example, if you want to download that, it will download a script that allow you to configure iSCSI with all the credentials and everything. And that makes a very simple configuration, and highly recommend to use a script instead of going over and do it manually. But you can do it manually, and then you have to specify the name, the IQN, and you specify any particular CHAP secret. Now, to enable multipathing, it's quite simple. You go to the server manager and go through. You do the manage, and what you want to do is add roles and features. So the first thing you have here is you have a role, and if you expand this out, you already have files. You should have file and iSCSI services already installed, but that doesn't enable the multipathing. To do multipathing, you have to go to the features, and the features, you have to scroll down a little bit, and then you do a multipath I/O. It usually doesn't require a restart, but if it does a restart, this may be a short Tech Tip Tuesday. But let's go ahead and install that anyway. So we're going to install Multipath I/O, and then we can go ahead and continue on. So from the server itself, if you bring up the server record, you'll see that it has a chap user and a chap secret. Now, normally I don't show this, but this is within, this is just a demo, but you should protect that, your chap secret. To do the multipath, you would connect to the same initiator or the same target, and you enable multipath and do an advance. And for the name, you want to replace the IQN name with the credentials in the for that server. And of course, if you have mutual authentication, going back and forth between the target and the initiator, you'd also do that. But for this one, I only have a single credential. And if everything worked, you should see another target. Okay, it already has one. And you'll have multiple sessions here. So now it shows up multipath here with the two additional sessions here on the drive. So what that'll do is it'll you can add as many as you want, but this will give you additional pathways into that drive itself. So instead of seeing just one drive, you see all four, and those are all aggregated into a single I/O. So that's pretty much all you do for multipath. It's a real quick tip, and it does provide you better performance overall. Of course, if you're using a smaller instance like this one, this is a micro, so it's a 100 to 200 megabit per second interface. You probably won't see much performance. You typically, with this type of instance, it's going to be the server itself is going to peg out the network before it even hits the multipath. But if you have a 1 gig interface, you'll definitely see a performance improvement, even with a moderate type of interface. So are there any questions on that, Christy?
Well, I have a question for you, Howard. Is this is there use cases specific for this kind of instance, or can you touch on that a little bit for our audience?
Yeah, so the use case is mostly for performance. It maximizes your bandwidth. So if we go back to what it does, normally if you have a single path with a single connection, it's always going to go down, let's say on the bottom path. With Multipath, what happens when every session you create, it creates another session. So it'll allow you to go down both. So things are done in parallel, and it gives you uh, this additional pathway to go. So instead of a single 10 gig lane here, now you have two 10 gig lanes. And then what you want to do is maximize your bandwidth over here with a larger pipe. So with like 1 gig, now you can go down both a lot faster, and then you don't have so many gaps that's waiting just across a single lane.
Perfect. So if performance is one of your, one of the things you're looking to improve upon, it sounds like this is a great route for you guys to go. Does anyone have any other questions for Howard today? Either raise your hand or put them in the questions panel. If not, if something comes up as you're looking to implement this yourself, Howard can be reached both on email and Twitter. Howard@zadarastorage.com is his email address, and then @HowardY is his Twitter handle. And again, as we've said last week and weeks before, if you guys have any suggestions on topics you'd like covered, if you have questions that you'd like Howard to go in more detail and do a whole 10 or 15-minute explanation on, please go to info.zadarastorage.com/TechTipTuesday suggestions, and we'll just, you can just go in there and type a brief paragraph about what you're looking to learn, and we'll definitely add it to our agenda. So please let us know, and we look forward to talking to you next week. Howard, what are we covering next week? Do we have an agenda?
Next week we'll look at the Cube, and the Cube is our AWS marketplace where you can spin up a BPSA on demand through the AWS marketplace. And basically that allows you to do all your billing through AWS instead of through us. It's a pretty new feature, and I'm kind of excited to give it a try.
Yeah, we just launched this recently in the last couple of weeks, and it's, if you're an AWS user, it's an easy way to try out the Zadara product and see how it works in a bit of a more simplified way. But Howard will go over that next week, so thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next Tuesday.